Hi, welcome to Santosha Rose. My name's Sam. Today we have a really beautiful practice for connection. So we're going to be connecting to the earth, the sky, our bodies and ourselves. I'm really excited to share it with you. See you on the mat. We're going to start our practice today lying on our backs. So bring yourself down onto your mat and straighten out the legs, palms facing up to the ceiling. Be snuggling the shoulder blades down the spine, just creating that lovely space between the shoulders and the ears. And just allowing yourself to completely relax here. As we take this first couple of breaths to come into our practice, into our bodies, into this moment. And noticing that movement of breath coming into the body, expanding through the rib cage and the stomach, and the release as the air goes out of the body. And really allowing that breath to be deep here. Allowing the tummy to expand and the body to relax. And start to bring some movement in, synchronized with the breath. So as we inhale, we're going to bring the right knee in towards the chest, taking a clasp. As we exhale, we're going to bring the head up towards the knee, giving it a squeeze in. Inhale, we're going to straighten that leg up towards the ceiling, just as straight as it wants to go. It doesn't have to be completely straight. And the exhale, we're going to slowly lower that leg down. We might need a couple of breaths on this movement down. That's cool. We're going to let that right leg rest gently on the floor. I switch to the other side. So we inhale, left knee comes in, taking a clasp. Exhale, we lift the head, squeezing the head and the knee in towards each other. Inhale, we're straightening the left leg up as straight as it wants to go. And then exhaling, slowly lowering down the left leg. And if this needs an extra breath, that's fine. And then just allowing that left leg to release down, taking that breath all the way down into your belly. Exhaling, feeling that connection to the earth underneath you. You're going to bend the left leg up, placing the foot flat on the floor, and lift the right leg so we can rest the top of just above the right ankle on top of the left knee. I'm going to take some circles with this right ankle. And going a little bit slower than maybe the instinct is to go. And really feeling the sensations in this ankle joint. What are the sensations in your body as we're doing these movements? Taking the circles in the other direction. We simultaneously feel the connection to the earth that is holding us. And that connection to our body, its sensations. And you bring that ankle to stillness, lifting the left leg up off the floor. We're going to create that figure 4 shape. So flexing through the right foot. The right knee is going out to the right hand side. The right ankle is resting just above the left knee. We're going to reach through, taking a clasp behind the left thigh, and keeping that nice generous flex through the toes. We're going to bring the left leg in towards the body. So keeping the head and the shoulders relaxed here on the floor. As we bring that left leg in, feeling that stretch all the way through the right glute. We can use the breath here to maybe find a little bit more space in that exhale. Maybe not, that's also fine. I'm going to release that left leg down to the floor, stretching the right leg up to the ceiling, going as straight as it wants to go, flexing through that toe. Then we're going to bend the right leg down, bringing the right foot flat on the floor, lifting the left leg up, balancing it on top of that right knee. And we take the circles with the left ankle. And having a real beginner's mind here. So not going into this thinking, I know what that feels like, I know what we're going to do, I've circled my ankles hundreds of times. Connecting into the feeling in this moment. What's the sensation in your ankle joint right now? Now take the circles in the other direction. Maybe noticing how that might be different. Really being present with the sensation. Fabulous. We're going to release the circles, bringing that left knee out to the side, flexing through the left toe so we create that figure 4 shape. We're going to lift the right leg up off the floor, reaching through so we take a clasp behind the right thigh, keeping that nice generous flex through the left foot. We're going to bring the right leg in towards the body. I'm trying to do this without too much effort. We're not yanking our bodies around here. In yoga practice, we want to treat our bodies like we love them. Maybe sending the breath to any places that feel tight. Seeing if you can melt away that tightness on the exhale. You're going to release with the hands, bringing the right foot down to the floor, stretching the left leg up to the ceiling. See how straight that leg wants to go. We're going to flex through that toe and then bending through that leg, just bringing it back down to the floor. You're going to bring both knees into the chest, wrapping the arms around the legs. Give yourself a big hug. You're going to take a gentle rock from side to side, giving yourself a gentle spinal massage. And then we're going to cross over at the ankles, taking hold of the outer edges of the feet. Just going to rock up and down the spine. Go 3 times up and down. And then we're going to come all the way up and stretching out the legs, coming into our staff pose. So we still have a real sense of connection to the ground here, grounding down through the sitting bones. We lift up through the spine, through the crown of the head. We're going to bring the right knee into the chest, giving it a squeeze. Placing it down on the floor, about a hand width away from the knee. I'm going to bring the left elbow round the right knee, taking the right arm behind, opening up into a twist. Inhaling and lengthening, exhaling and twisting. And releasing, coming all the way back to the center. I'm going to take the right foot onto the inside edge of the left thigh. So almost like a seated tree pose. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling, having this first sense of connecting upwards here. And then we're going to fold forward over the left leg and just come down as much as feels good for you here. Maybe you're at your thigh or your knee or your shin. Maybe you're reaching down to your foot. It will be different on different days, different times of the day, and as your practice develops. We're going to inhale and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, finding that fold. And slowly we're going to bring the arms coming all the way back up the leg. As we uncurl, we're going to bring the right knee back up to neutral and then send it out straight, giving both legs a little bit of a shake. And then bring the left knee in, giving it a squeeze. We plant it down, hand width away from the right knee. Wrap this right elbow round the left knee as we take the left arm behind, opening up. We inhale and lengthen, exhale, twist. And coming all the way back to center. Take this left knee out to the side, bringing the left foot onto the inner right thigh. Inhale and lengthen up, reaching up to the ceiling. We exhale, fold forwards. And just allowing yourself to release here. Feeling the sensations of your body. Feeling what it's like to be inside your body today. And being okay with whatever we find. We don't want things to be different. We're not trying to change things. You're going to slowly bring the hands up the leg. Bring the left knee up towards the ceiling. We're going to send it out straight, giving both legs a little bit of a shake. And we're going to bring the feet in towards each other, coming together into our butterfly pose. So bringing the feet as close into the body as we can here. Soles of the feet pressing in towards each other. I'm going to take the hands behind us and just opening up in the chest. So keeping the feet squeezed in towards each other. Just starting to bring the heart up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to take the knees out to the side. So imagining that the knees are trying to go away from each other as the heart is opening up. Maybe closing your eyes here, just noticing the sensations, the feelings in the body. The knees are going out in opposite directions. You're going to release that sense of pulling the knees apart. Coming back up off the hands, we're going to take the feet a little bit further forward. So we create a kind of diamond shape here with the legs. And then we're just going to melt forwards, coming over the legs, over the feet. So be a slightly different stretch than if the feet were tight into the body. If it works for your body, you can actually bring your forearms down to the floor underneath your legs. It won't work for everybody, but you can try it. See if it's good for you. We're just going to breathe here. Feeling the sensations of the body melting down towards the floor. And if there are places that feel tight, you can send the breath to those places. And slowly walk the hands back in, coming back up to an upright position. And take the hands onto the outer edges of the knees, bringing the knees together with the hands, and cross over at the ankles so that we can reach up and forward, coming into our tabletop position. grounding down here, wide fingers. We're pressing away from the mat. We have our shoulders over our wrists, our hips over our knees. Knees can be hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. And keeping that sense of engagement, pressing into the tops of the feet, we're going to bring the tummy down and lift the head up. And pressing into the hands, curling through the spine, chin comes in towards the chest. Syncing this up with the breath as we inhale, the tummy comes down and the head lifts. Exhale, curling through the spine, chin comes into chest. And keeping that movement going, that sense of flow in time with your own breath. Maybe noticing the different places that you can feel sensations as you curl through the spine, feeling the shoulder blades coming apart. As you bring the tummy down, just noticing the sensation in the hips, in the shoulders. And then we're going to come back to that neutral tabletop position. We're going to take the hands a hand width further in front. Tucking the toes, we're going to lift the knees up off the floor, sending the hips up towards the ceiling, downward facing dog. And being really gentle here, so we bend through one knee as we maybe straighten the other leg away, reaching that heel towards the floor, don't worry if it doesn't touch. Then coming back up onto tiptoes, bending through the other knee, sending the first leg out straight. You can do that a couple of times if that feels good. And taking whatever movement you need to take here, pressing into all of the fingers and the thumbs, feeling that real sense that we're lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. You're going to walk the feet to the top of the mat. So just taking little baby steps as we come slowly up towards the front of the mat and just meeting in this ragdoll fold. You can take a little bend to the knees here. We're not trying to stretch the hamstrings. Hands can be just dangling down, or you can take hold of the opposite elbow. Be taking a little sway from side to side. Really allowing gravity to work on the spine here, lengthening through the spine. Now release with the hands. Bring the hands all the way up the body as we uncurl. Coming up to a standing position. Taking the shoulder blades down the spine, lifting up through the head. Palms facing towards the front here. Feeling strong in your mountain pose. You're going to bring the hands in front of the chest and they come to face you here. Squeezing the palms in towards each other, feeling that connection into your heart space. You're going to bring the right knee in, giving it a squeeze. And then keeping hold with the right hand. I'm going to take it out to the right hand side, reaching the left arm out. Choosing that gaze point, that drishti. And balancing is hard. So if you're falling and wobbling, that's okay. You're going to bring the right foot onto the left leg, wherever you want it for the tree pose. So it could be coming down to your ankle, it could be on your shin, it could be bringing it in to your inner thigh. Make sure you avoid the knee joint. You're going to bring the hands back in front of the chest together, squeezing the hands in towards each other and pressing equally with the left leg, the standing leg, and the right foot. So there's that real sense of coming in through this midline. Feeling a connection down into the floor, into the ground with your left foot. And if you want to have that connection coming upwards, you can reach your arms up as if they were branches, feeling that real sense of connecting through the earth, through your foot, and reaching the arms up into the sky. Breathe. And as I say, if you fall out, that's fine. You can get back in. You're going to bring the hands together in front of the chest, squeezing through the hands, then releasing, maybe with a bit more control than I just did, that right foot down. Fabulous. You're going to bring the left leg in this time, giving it a squeeze. I'm going to take it out to the left hand side, so opening up in the hips, reaching the right arm out. And then choosing where you want to bring that left foot in. Maybe it's coming in just around the ankle, maybe it's on the shin, maybe you're bringing it into the thigh. I'm going to squeeze the palms together. And that squeezing in of the hands on the midline and pressing equally with the standing leg and the leg that's, the foot that's against it, will really support with that balance. Choosing your drishti, your gaze point, the place that's not moving. Feeling that sense of grounding down through the right foot. And if it feels good for you, you can reach up through your branches, connecting into the sky above you. Breathe. Feeling that you are connecting both to the earth and the sky simultaneously, as all trees are. We're going to bring the palms back together in front of the chest, and slowly and with control, we're going to bring that left foot down. I actually did that time. We're going to bring the hands onto the hips, opening up through the legs, and taking them out into a straddle. We're going to angle the toes outwards, so coming diagonally out here, reaching the arms up so we create that star shape. Take up as much space as you can here, so stretching out through the fingers, having that real sense of reaching up. We're going to bend through the knees and bend through the elbows, coming into our goddess pose. The knees are coming outwards, tracking out over the feet. Quite a fierce pose. You're going to bring the hands down onto the thighs. And either you can stay here with the hands here, or if it works for your body, you can come down onto your forearms. We're just going to have a little bit of movement here, going from left to right. Just really opening up, feeling that openness coming through the hips. Either on forearms, or you can keep your palms down. And then straightening back up through the spine. We're going to straighten the legs up, bringing the toes in this time so that they're coming a little bit in towards each other. Bring the hands onto the hips, lengthen up through the spine. We're going to fold forwards, releasing the hands down towards the floor. If the hands touch the floor, we want to have the feet and the hands in a straight line, so the tips of the toes, the tips of the fingers coming into a straight line. You're going to come up to halfway, so that halfway lift, flat back position. Bring the left hand down into the center, reaching the right arm up, coming into a twist. Stretching up through that right arm. So the left hand is grounding, the right hand is up in the sky. Then bringing the right hand back down, plant down with the right hand, lifting up through the left hand this time. Reaching up towards the ceiling. And then bringing that left hand back down, we bring the hands onto the hips, lifting up slowly and with control. And I'm going to come back to the top of the mat, stepping back up. Take a little bend to the knees as we inhale, circle the arms up, reaching up towards the ceiling. Then exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, bring the hands onto the knees, send the head to the front of the mat, the tailbone to the back, flat back position. Exhale, folding forwards. Bend the knees so we can plant down through the hands, taking the legs back 1 and 2, coming into our plank position. Pressing into the fingers, straight line from the shoulders down to the wrists. A nice straight body coming down, engaging through the core here. Maybe you can feel a little bit of heat. That's cool. Maybe there's a little bit of shaking. I have a little bit of shaking too. We're going to slowly lower all the way down to the floor, coming down onto our tummies, uncurling through the toes. We're going to press into the hands, lifting up into a baby cobra. If you want, you can let go with the hands or keep the hands there for balance. And then slowly releasing everything down. You're going to bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, pressing this time, maybe coming into a full cobra. Keeping the hips on the floor, we're not locking out in the elbows. And then slowly lowering everything down. Going to press into the hands to come up through hands and knees. Bring the toes together, send the knees wide, coming into a wide leg child's pose. And just allowing your heart to melt down here. This is a really nice variation, creating a little bit more space for the body with the knees being wider. And breathe. And walk the hands in towards the body as we bring the body upright. Bring the knees back together. We're going to come up off our knees. Bring the hands into the small of the back. Just opening up here. Lifting the heart space up towards the ceiling. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. And breathe. You're going to release with the hands, reaching the arms up towards the ceiling. Feeling that extension coming through the side of the body. And then bringing the hands down, we're going to curl back down into a child's pose, hands coming towards the feet. You're going to bring the head to the floor, taking hold of the soles of the feet with the two hands, coming up onto the crown of the head, lifting the hips up. And just stretching that rabbit pose through the shoulder blades into the spine. And slowly bringing the hips back down to bring the body coming back upright. We're going to take the heels to one side, coming back into a seated position. So you're going to bring the hands behind, fingers facing in just for a little bit of balance. You're going to lift the feet up off the floor, so just hovering the feet and reaching the arms in front here. We have a couple of different options, so this is absolutely fine to stay here if you'd like to stay here. If you want, you can straighten the legs, bringing them to a 90-degree angle parallel to the mat. If you want to have even more challenge, you can start working towards getting those legs straight, which is a lot more challenging. So choose where feels good for you, and we're going to hold for 3, 2, and 1, releasing everything down. Bring the feet down to the floor, hands come behind. We're going to set up for our reverse tabletop. So nice wide fingers, feet are hip width apart. We're going to press into the hands and feet, lifting the hips up. And only lift the hips as high as feels good for you today, as feels right for your body. Keeping the weight evenly distributed between the inside edges and the outside edges of the feet. And then slowly lowering the hips down, You're going to straighten through the legs, reaching the arms up to the ceiling. I have one more forward fold for our practice. Folding forward, just allowing yourself to melt down. Connecting in with your body, with yourself. Maybe allowing yourself to close your eyes here. Find that length on the exhale, maybe finding a little bit more fold on the exhale. You're going to bring the hands slowly up the legs. Bending the knees, we can plant the feet flat on the floor, making sure you have some space behind you. And reach the arms in front, curling down slowly. As we come down here, as the shoulders get towards the floor, just letting the feet lift up, sending the arms out into a T shape. And a double right angle, one at the hips, one at the knees. We're going to keep the shoulders on the floor. Take the legs over to the right hand side. So moving slowly and with control, keeping that left shoulder grounding down. And breathe. Feeling here that connection to the earth, the sensations of your body. Maybe closing your eyes and connecting in to yourself. And keep your eyes closed as you slowly bring the knees back up to center, engaging through the core, noticing how that feels. What's that sensation like? Come back to neutral, and we take the knees over to the left hand side, grounding down through the right shoulder. Noticing how that feels. And breathe, breathing all the way down into your stomach. And keeping the eyes closed, I'm going to bring the knees back up, engaging through the core. I'm going to plant the feet down on the floor and send them out straight, one foot and the other foot. Bringing the arms by the sides, palms facing up to the ceiling, maybe snuggling your shoulder blades down your spine. And breathe. Breathing all the way down into your belly. And just feeling a sense of peacefulness. Maybe you want to follow the breath, coming in and going out. Maybe you want to bring your attention to your heart space, to the feelings and sensations that you have there. Listen to your intuition. It knows. And feeling that you are being held by the earth. You are connected to the earth and its cycles. knowing that every time you breathe in, the earth is breathing out. Every time you breathe out, the earth is breathing in. We are part of the cycles of the earth. You're going to start to bring little bits of movement into fingers and toes. Notice what that feels like. Don't let it be automatic. Be curious. What are the sensations? You stretch the arms out overhead, stretching the arms in one direction and the legs in the other. Make yourself as long as you can. And then we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around, giving yourself a hug. You're going to take a rock from side to side. And giving yourself a gentle spinal massage. You're going to roll over onto one side, coming up slowly, pressing the hands into the floor. So you come up, back into a cross-legged seated position. Bring your hands just onto your knees or your thighs. Feeling the connection to the earth through your sitting bones. Feeling the connection to the sky and the universe from the crown of your head. Bringing the palms together in front of the chest. Feeling the connection to yourself. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thanks so much for sharing your practice with me today. If you enjoyed it, do give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know how you found it in the comments below. See you again soon.